Yellow, everybody, how you doing? Just wanted to give a quick update. So last time I was on here, I was trying to flatten out this green side, take away any imperfections, and get down to something more like this yellow or blue side where there's really not any blemishes or imperfections. You might see a fingerprint, but pretty much they are perfectly flat. So this green side, it had brush strokes, it had lumps and bumps, it had all kinds of, like I said, imperfections. I didn't take my time. I didn't let it self-level. You need to really give it a good 10-20 minutes if you can after doing your coat to really let it all level. So what I was showing you guys was how you can take a wet paper towel or a alcohol soaked paper towel and just keep kind of wiping, and you can even let it sit on it for a minute so it starts to soak a little bit, and then keep going over it with your paper towel, and you can see what was completely covered in brush strokes and really ugly has become almost completely flat and almost acceptable as a finished product. This and these two pieces right here are really the last two that are holdouts. But as you can see, most of it has come out almost perfect. And like I said, what I was trying to show was that you can really just kind of almost not sand it, but wipe it down. And that's what the wipe gelish top coat wipe off gel coat is all about. Is it doesn't really leave. I've seen a lot of people's videos where it leaves a really thick coating. I can't imagine that's not adding a ton of weight. I imagine it's got to add a ton of weight to the cube. It's got to affect the performance. It's got to affect your feel. I mean, this has a good grip, but it also doesn't have a bunch of like weird bumps. I mean, just this little bit of imperfection causes me to not use this cube, and I'm really waiting till it's finished. But yeah, the lack of, like, you don't want it to change the performance of the cube. If anything, you want it to feel better and perform better. That's the whole reason we're doing this. So if you're getting gum inside or getting gel coat inside and getting whatnot, and that's what same reason I don't recommend sanding. The sanding leaves so much gel coat sanding and filings inside your cube mixed in with all of the lube, and it leads to a ton of cleaning. And where again, you can just take an alcohol soaked paper towel and wipe this until you've got your desired result. Like I put in my last video, I spent maybe an hour just kind of dabbing it on, wiping, seeing how it goes. And you can see it's like, if you get my fingerprints off there, it's pretty nice. I just needed to go maybe a couple more times on here and it'll be finished. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys some different options. Everyone seems to be kind of going the same way, and I've noticed a lot of like lumpy, uneven surfaces because of that no wipe gel they're using. There's just no forgiveness with it. With any of these that I've done, at the end, last thing you do is you take your paper towel with alcohol and you wipe it off, and it 100% leaves a beautiful sheen. I mean, it definitely leaves your UV coating on there without being so thick. I've noticed everyone's comes out very thick, and I have to imagine that adds a lot of weight to the cube, among other things. But like I said, and decreasing performance. One of the things we really dwell on is the weight, the shape of the pieces, how it's lubed, how it performs. I mean, we really dissect these things, and so to go ahead and take the liberty to change everything about it, like I said, you really want to make sure that you're doing it proper. I mean, if you watch the Maru Labs guy video, the UV coating video that he put out, he straight up says he does not really recommend this for novice people or people who are just trying it out. He said there's a good chance you can ruin a good cube. There's a lot of things that can go wrong, and that's why I've done so many probably somewhat redundant videos on this. But I just want people to know there are other options and there are other ways to do things. And like I said, even with how ugly this side looks, I mean, this is how I feel like other people's are coming out, and they're just accepting it, and I'm just not quite okay with that. But yeah, you can turn this into this, no problem. Just keep going ahead and keep going at it with the alcohol wipes, and it will come down. And like I said, this was like, you could literally see brush strokes and all these kind of like problems, and so it's come a long ways. But yeah, just again, comment or leave a like, subscribe, whatever you guys want to do. I always appreciate it. I'll take all the love you guys want to give. But have a great night, and yeah, take care. Peace. Yellow again. So real quick, this is my Tornado V3 Pioneer that I UV coated myself. And one of the things I just said in my last video was how lumpy and how thick and how much extra weight I feel like the other gel coats have to add. So as you can see here, all the sides, and this is what I really wanted to show, was they're very flat and level. The green side, you will see, is the only side that has a slight bump or kind of convex outward protrusion to it, and that's because I used the no wipe on here first and had to sand it off and had to get it down as flat as I could, and that was the only side I used it on. You can see it has the tiniest bubbling to it, where every other side is so very flat and nice and shiny. Same with the white. I mean, this if you compare this to the Maru Labs guys, almost identical, but his is so thick. I can see how thick it is on there, and this comes out just as nice, but because you wipe off any excess at the end, it literally takes it down to where the gel coat is barely thick enough to just come up to the edges. I mean, you can see once in a while there's an edge that if I've wiped it off enough and I've cleaned it and whatnot, the edges might start to get exposed from the cube, and that's really as much gel coat as I want on there. I don't want it to be, a millimeter thick on each side. It's gonna add 10 grams to the thing. And every cube that I've done, I have weighed, and not one has gained more than a half gram to a gram. You can hear how this Tornado is like absolutely silent. The lube's getting worn in. It's not so slow and sluggish anymore. Sorry, my cat's getting in the background, but yeah, you can see how beautiful this thing turns. Every side is as pretty as the other. There's really no imperfections. And you can even see the light shining off it. But yeah, that's what I wanted you guys to see, the difference, and really look closely in the other people's videos, and you'll see all of these like kind of wavy imperfections, and a lot of that is from not letting itself level for long enough. You need to really be patient when you're doing this. Make sure you put in all your inserts. Do it all with a nice, thick enough coat to cover it, but just thick enough to cover it, because again, when you're done, you're gonna pull out your cardboards and wipe it off, and it's gonna leave just enough to make it a beautiful shiny coat. So hopefully I've made a good video for you guys, and as always, comment below. I know I'm extremely redundant, but I want to make sure everyone's getting the information. I've watched a lot of videos and done a lot of research to get to this point. I really wanted my cubes to come out well. Like I said, the Maru guy in the video says specifically, like, don't do this to a main or a special cube of yours because you don't want to ruin it. And this was one of my mains when I got it, the new Tornado V3 Pioneer. And I can say when I first did it, I was so scared that I had ruined my favorite cube, or one of my favorite cubes. And now I can say that it's better than the day that I got it, for sure. Same goes with my 2x2, my GAN 251M Leap. It's not only perfect as far as the gel coat goes, or the UV coat, but the feel is phenomenal. I mean, the feel in my hands, it's nothing. It's not even comparable to that matte finish that it came with. I watched a video where Sean from Speedcube Review talks about how he polishes his 251 because of the frosted finish, and I don't blame him. This is so much nicer. I mean, gosh, it's so much, like, you can see my fingers just like sticks to it, and it's not sticky. I mean, this thing freaking moves like nobody's business. So yeah, it's smooth. Like I said, no stick, no tack, none of that. But yeah, I can say I've done this to my nicest and favorite cubes in the collection. I mean, as long as they're not UV coated. And now I've gone as far as even UV coating cubes just to, you know, seal stickers on, to seal the corners from corners popping when you drop your cube after a solve. Yeah, I've just taken it to every extreme I can think of. There's a lot of uses for it, and if you're, you know, careful with it and you're not, you know, too impatient, you can come out with some really good results. I mean, here's my GAN 356M. I mean, this is not by any means considered a high-end cube, but it's, you know, it's a $20 GAN cube, and now it's UV coated, and it feels, I mean, it's got all my fingerprints all over it, sorry about that, but it feels better than it ever has. I mean, it turns amazing. So yeah, I can't do anything but recommend that you guys give it a try. Try out the brand I recommended and everything. I have not seen another brand that works like that one does. That's probably the best I've seen. Gelish, G-E-L-I-S-H. And they sell the matching light, which is a really cheap it has only 3 little lights on the bottom. So yep, I definitely recommend going out and trying it. Like I said, take your time though, do lots of research, and if you have any questions, absolutely send them to me, because I would prefer that you guys do it right the first time than anyone have to destroy a good cube. So, you know, best of luck, and yeah, peace as always.